What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Hey y'all. Anyway, I'm going through my notes, pictures, um, memorabilia, putting it all together for my biodoc, my autobiography that I'm doing. And got my mother's, not my mother's, but yeah, I'm the product of my mother. As you can see, my birth certificate is there. There's no name for the father. Immunization record. There's my aunt and uncle. Me, my brother, and my mother. She gave us away, actually, to my aunt and uncle when we were just little kids like this, children. Here's my holy sacrament of baptism. There's no father's name here, but she did put a G. King as my father's name for my baptismal. These are her brothers. The top one is Uncle Georgia, and that's Uncle Marvin. What do we have here? LA Unified School District, Utah Street School, 1970. As you all know, I'm big on mementos. I keep everything. First Holy Communion. My mother was a professional baker for UCLA. She actually made my cake. There she is with my Uncle Shelby, who she later returned to take me and my brother back away from her. My first dog is Puffball. She was a little puffball when she was first born. And my first dog. 13 years old right there. We lived on 3rd Avenue. I don't have too many pictures of my mother. She died in 1976. This is her obituary and certificate of death. I was 13 years old at the time. Here I am, and me and my younger brother at her funeral services. Then we go up, let's see. High school, my first love, Lance Gray. That's me and Lance when we lived on Sherborne. We stayed together for a while, and then we had off and on relationship. So I graduated from Mount Vernon Junior High, and I even have my report card and her certificate from Mount Vernon for outstanding work. 1977 is when I went to Mount Vernon Junior High, and that's my junior high school picture. And me and Lance were a hit. We were a power couple back then. There's some more pictures from junior high school. I even have my first driver's license. My very first driver's license. We lived on Sherborne Drive. I was 16 years old working at McDonald's. That's me after work in my room. That's me at the table. Of course, y'all know I love to eat, drink, and be merry. I was in the LAPD junior band when we lived on Sherborne. Up there, I think those are immunization records that I still hold on to. My own from the 60s. Graduation, Hamilton. I went to Hamilton High. I graduated Hamilton High 1980. I have all 3 of my Hammy High IDs. This is prom. Okay, let's move it along. I never had any children, but I've been a grandmother. I've been a godmother to 3 different children. Right out of high school, I think I might have still been in high school. I met this man here. That's his mom. She was 50 when I met her. Me and this man, we moved in together. We got our own place, and we were there together for, I guess, almost 3.5, maybe 4 years, until he became abusive. He started cheating. And if that wasn't enough, he hit me, so I had to go. I moved out from him, and during the course of living with together, I met this woman. Her name is Miss Goody. That's Mama. She was a play mother to me, platonic mother, and I started visiting her in Texas because she was our landlady. But then her mother got ill, and she moved back to Texas. In the meantime, between time, I got my first apartment by myself by my play uncle. His name is Uncle George. He's a LAPD officer. He had an apartment on East Imperial Highway. So I moved in to his apartment. Got my first car on my own, which was I purchased from Uncle George, my play uncle, 63 Buick LeSabre. Now me and him, like I said, it got, crazy at the end. But I left my family. I left my family to move in with him. I was just 17 out of high school. I ended up having a car accident and split my head wide open. My head hit the driver's side window and broke. And so I have this remembrance. It was right at the end of our relationship. He attempted to sweeten up and get back with me, bought me some flowers for my 20th birthday, brought them up to the job. It was a little bit too little, too late. I don't do the hit. I thought about it, but when he said the rent is due in a few days, that's when I started my time of being the breadwinner and paying the rent and bills and stuff. He didn't keep a steady job, so I had to kick in. Through the years, I've had several lovers. I'll get into all these lovers at some other time. Let's see. Miss Goody, I adopted into her family and started visiting her and her adult children, and just like I said, adopted myself into their family, just like his mom became my mom. Years later, I ended up being her live-in caregiving. My caregiving started as a child. My mother died from complications of alcoholism, and I was her live-in caregiver. That's where it started, staying in the house, taking care of an adult woman. Started in my youth. I ended up moving in with my older sister because I couldn't take it after a while. It was, I've always had mental, emotional issues, and it was just too much for me. And sure enough, my brother came and lived with me and my sister, and then a little while later, my mother passed away. Complications from alcoholism. So anyway, after I left my Uncle George's place, I got my own place from this lady. Her name is Miss Merle, and she rented to me, and she later got married to this man. Can you see him? So they became like surrogate parents to me. And I rented from her, which I have proof here. Her brother ended up writing a letter that states that I was a tenant for 20-something years. I moved in 1984 and didn't leave until 2004. And that's when my homeless journey began, and I thought it was 2003, but it might have been 3 or 4. But yeah, there I am at my housewarming. Lived on Orange Drive for 20-something years. This was back in the 80s, y'all. And I maintained my place. It was I came in with pretty much nothing, and through the years, I made it my own. I fixed it up, had parties and stuff. And later down the line, I ended up getting married. My first time getting married. I was introduced in the Nation of Islam. And then I had a job at Carnation. At some point, there I am through the years at the Nation. I've done lots and lots of travel. Here I am celebrating my 40th birthday on Orange Drive. And that was my first marriage. I got married again to this man. This one lasted 1 year. This one lasted 3 months. And then finally, yes, I was in the Nation.